Okay, so in morning we did one question on accounting for investments that was based on shares, and we discussed about the pre-acquisition dividend and accounting for right renouncement and so on. Now also we'll do one more question on the same topic, and that's the question which you already have, that is October 2018. You are given the data for investments of one Mr. Jinin for year ended on 31st March 2018. Let's just quickly go through the data. 1417, there is an opening balance which he has. 10,000 shares, face value is given as 10 and his book value is 15 rupees per share. Then 1st May 2000 shares are purchased, price is given. 1st June also 3000 shares are purchased. Then 1st July there is a sale of 3000 shares. Then October there is a bonus share allotment. Then again December there is a purchase. January there is a right shares acquired at 18 per share. 1st February there is a sale of shares. 2500 shares are sold at 25 rupees a share. And on 31st March 18, number of shares that of course we have to calculate, and the market value is given as 12 rupees per share. Okay, so in earlier sums on debentures we have seen if at all the market value is given, then what needs to be done for that. So same way here also we have to ascertain if the market value is given, what is the repercussion of that on accounting for investments towards the end of the year. So I think with these details we can begin. Again here I don't think there is any issue of dividend because dividends are not given. So receipt of dividend and that pre and post acquisition dividend, that complication is not there. There's a usual normal sum of buying and selling of shares. All of you are ready with formats that we can start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So 1417, 10,000 shares. So book value is going to be 1 lakh rupees and the cost is 15 rupees per share. So that will be 1.5 lakhs. So opening balance on 1417, two balance brought down. Face value is 1 lakh rupees and the cost of investment is given as 15 rupees per share. So 10,000 shares into 15, 150,000 rupees opening balance. All of you can note down the opening balance in the ledger. Then we will go to the next transaction. Finished with the opening balance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's see the second transaction. Second transaction is on 1st May 17. 2,000 shares are purchased and the price is 13 rupees per share. Can someone tell me how do we account for this before I show you the entry for this? How the entry will be recorded in the ledger? What will be the entry you will pass?
Investment account to bank account.
Correct, correct. What is the amount?
Investment account
26,000.
26,000.
Yes,
And face
to
value
bank account. Yes.
to bank account 26,000.
Yes, correct. And face value will be 20,000. So you can write down the second entry also now. On 1st May 17, investment account debit to bank 26,000 and the face value of investment is 20,000 rupees. That's how we have to account for it. Then in the same fashion, we have to account for entry on 1st of June, where we have purchased 3,000 shares and the pricing is 15 rupees per share. Anyone with the entry, amount and details? 1st June 7.
Investment account debit 45,000 to bank 45,000.
Yes, correct, correct. And face
And
value
face
कितना
value
बताएंगे?
is 30,000.
That's right. 10 rupee per share is the face value. So on 1st June, the entry will be investment account debit to bank 45,000 rupees and the face value of investment as shown in face value column is 30,000 rupees. Now 1st July, there is a sale of 3,000 shares at the rate of 25 rupees per share. Okay, so whenever there is a sale, we have to find out the weighted average cost and we have to find out the corresponding profit or loss. Okay, I have already done two sums of this type. I want you to try this sale related working note and the corresponding profit or loss. Will you try this now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so make an attempt to calculate the selling price, weighted average cost, and then profit or loss. I'll give you a couple of minutes for that. We'll take a pause and then we will see what is the answer and we'll discuss the working note there and then the accounting effects. Okay, ready with the workings?
Sir,
Hello?
wait 1 minute.
Okay, take your time. No hurry, take your time.
Sir, done.
Yes, what about others? All of you have attempted the working note?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. ठीक है. So 3,000 shares are sold at 25 rupees per share and out of earlier lot of shares, these 3,000 shares are sold. So that means we had opening balance of 10,000. Then we had one more purchase of 2,000 shares and another purchase of 3,000 shares. So that means we had total shares 15,000 rupees, 15,000 shares in hand at that point in time. And on these 15,000 shares, our total investment is available here, which is 2,21,000. So when you work out the valuation of these shares, the cost of these shares, it will be 2,21,000 divided by 15,000. So how much it comes to per share?
14.7233.
Yeah, whatever. So here is the working note. Sale of 3,000 shares at 25. So your selling price is 75,000 rupees less weighted average cost. Okay. Now this time I'm also carrying forward the balance left over after sale. Okay. So opening balance, purchase, again purchase, and then total. These are number of shares. This is the corresponding cost. So as you can see here, total investment as of now is 15,000 shares and cost is 2,21,000. Now we can apply the proportion here and find out the weighted average cost. So 3,000 divided by 15,000 multiplied by 2,21,000, you will get 44,200 as cost of these 3,000 shares which are sold. So 75,000 is the selling price, 44,200 is the cost. Your profit will be 30,800 on this transaction. Okay, so this is how you are going to get the profit. And I have also done one more working here. If you can see here, I'm also showing you what is the leftover number of shares and what is the leftover cost, because this will be useful for further calculations. Okay, so you can also note this in a working note that after sale, you are left with the stock of 12,000 shares whose cost is 1,76,800. This is how we are going to work out the leftover cost. Have you been able to work out this profit and cost and everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, can someone tell me how the entry will be recorded?
Bank account debit 75,000 to investment account 75,000.
Correct.
And for profit, investment account debit 30,800.
Yes.
To PNL account 30,800.
Yes, that's good. Very good. Who was this?
Jennifer.
Oh, good. So two entries: bank account debit to investment 75,000. This is for sale, and then investment account debit to profit and loss account 30,800. These are the two entries that we are supposed to record. So let us plot the entries in our ledger. This is the first entry. Bank account debit to investment 75,000, and the face value will be shown in the face value column here, and then we will transfer the profit to profit and loss account. So the entry will be investment account debit to profit and loss account. The profit is transferred to the extent of 30,800 rupees. Post the entry in your ledger also, and then we can go to the next transaction. I hope everyone has followed this working. No difficulty in calculation now? Good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. So if you have posted the entry, let us take up the next transaction for discussion. So we were on this 3,000 shares which are sold and 25 rupees per share. We accounted for profit and everything. Now the next transaction is happening on 1st October. You have received bonus shares, and the ratio of bonus shares is 1 share for every 4 shares held. How many shares are we holding at this point in time?
12,000.
Sorry?
12,000.
12,000. We are holding 12,000 shares
Yes.
at this point in time. So our ratio is 1 share for every 4 shares. So that means how many share will you get?
3,000.
3,000.
3,000.
3,000. Yes, 3,000 will be the bonus shares that you will get allotment. And how will you pass the entry for bonus shares? You are not going to pay anything. So only it will be reflected in a face value column. 2 bonus shares received, face value 30,000, cost will be nil. Okay, so that's how we are going to reflect the issue of bonus shares for this shareholder. So 1st October 2017, 2 bonus shares received, face value 30,000, cost is nil. We were holding 12,000 shares at this point in time, and in the ratio of 1 for every 4, we got the shares. So we got 3,000 bonus shares with a face value of 30,000, the cost being nil for these bonus shares. Okay, so write down this entry in the ledger and then we'll discuss the next transaction. Now the next transaction is on 1st of December. Again, a very simple transaction of purchase. 2,000 shares are purchased at 20 rupees per share. So 2,000 into 20. How much it comes to?
40,000.
40,000. So if it is 40,000, that will be your cost of acquisition because you are buying the shares. So entry will be investment account debit to bank 40,000 rupees. So on 1st December, investment account debit to bank account 40,000 and the face value in face value column is 20,000 rupees. Then similarly on 1st October, there is a right shares, issue of right shares. 3,000 right shares are acquired at 18 rupees per share. Now here we have not given that he has renounced shares and received premium or whatever. So whatever shares he was eligible for, he has possibly applied for all the right shares and he got 3,000 right shares at a cost of 18 rupees per share. So 3,000 shares into 18, total cost for GNN will be 54,000 rupees.
54,000.
Yes, 54,000. And the entry will be investment account debit to bank account. So on 1118, let's post this entry. Investment account debit to bank 54,000. The face value is 30,000 rupees. Face value of investment is 30,000 and the entry is investment account debit to bank account. Write down this entry for right issue also. All of you have finished the entry for right shares?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now on 1st Feb 18, again there is a sale. 2,500 shares are sold at 25 rupees per share. So now we need to carefully calculate the weighted average cost. Okay. Let us go to the calculation and see what is the profit or loss. 2,500 shares are sold. Okay. These are sold at 25 rupees a share. So total amount received is going to be 62,500. 2,500 shares into 25 rupees per share, you receive a sum of 62,500 as a selling price. Now less weighted average cost. So now let us be little careful when we start with the weighted average cost. This was a working note of earlier sale, and here I was showing you what is the number of shares left after the sale. We were having 12,000 shares and the adjusted cost for 12,000 shares, the remaining cost is 1,76,800. So I'm showing that balance here. Balance after a previous sale, number of shares are 12,000 and the corresponding cost is 1,76,800. Is everybody following this? Remaining number of shares and the corresponding cost? Okay. Then subsequent to this sale, whatever is the acquisition that I have summarized here. So 1st October, we got bonus shares, 3,000, the cost is nil. Then 1st December, there is a purchase of 2,000 shares, the cost is 40,000. And 1st January, we got right shares, 3,000, the cost is 54,000. All this data is directly available from the ledger. Okay, so I have extracted this data from the ledger and then we total it up. So as on date, what is the status? You have 20,000 shares whose cost is 2,70,800. If you total up the cost column, you will get a cost of 2,70,800. So out of these 20,000 shares whose cost is 2,70,800, 2,500 shares are sold. So you can calculate the weighted average cost 2,500 divided by 20,000 multiplied by 2,70,800. So the proportionate weighted average cost is 33,850 rupees. So 62,500 minus weighted average cost, your profit is 28,650 rupees. So this is the profit made on this transaction. Are you clear about the weighted average cost and the calculation of profit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now one more thing I have shown here, like last time, what is the leftover shares after sale? 20,000 shares were there, 2,500 sold. So balance number of shares left over is 17,500. And similarly, 270,800 was the cost, less 33,850 is the cost of these shares, 2,500 shares which are sold. So my balance remaining cost is 2,36,950 rupees. This is the balance left after that. Okay, so write down this working note and then we will discuss the accounting entry for this. All of you write down the working note. I'll give you a minute for that.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, in exam, we need to mention these details also in working note.
Yes. Otherwise, how will you calculate? You tell me. Is there any other way that you can calculate?
So, like, we need to show these details.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
right.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes. See, there will be marks allocated for working note. The marks are not only for ledger which you create. The marks are also given for working note. So there is a possibility that you may miss out on those marks. Because you can do it on a calculator. I mean, see, there are students who can manage it on calculator without even doing the working note. That is fine. But still, for the purpose of record, to show that how you have arrived at that profit, cost, or whatever, the working note is expected. And there is a mark allocated. There are marks allocated for working note. So better keep a working note, and it ensures that your calculations are also correct. You will not go wrong if you have a proper working note. That's another advantage. Okay. So write down the working note. Yeah.
Sir, done.
All of you are finished with the working note?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about entry? Can someone tell me the entry?
Bank account debit 62,500. To investment account 62,500. Investment account debit 28,650. To profit and loss account 28,650.
Okay, good. That is a profit which is transferred to profit and loss account.
Loss account.
So if you're through with the working note, let us post the entries here. This is your entry for sale. bank account debit to investment account 62,500 and face value of investment sold is 25,000. That is shown in face value column. We had sold 2,500 shares, so this is the face value for that. And then balance profit was 28,650. That is transferred to profit and loss account. So that profit has gone to P&L account. Suppose the entry into the ledger account. Can we take up the next transaction?
Yes, sir.
All of you through with everything? Oh, good. Then 1st December, 1st Feb transaction sale we have accounted. Now we are on 31st March. Question mark. It says market value of these shares is 12 rupee per share on 31st March. Now, is this a current investment or long-term investment? What is your take on this? Yes, whatever investment he has, should we take it as current investment, call it as current investment, or should we call it as long-term investment, non-current investment? Anybody?
Long term.
Is it long-term? Why do you say it is long-term? Those who said long-term, they will have to. Yeah, those who are saying long-term, they will have to tell me why long-term, and those who are saying current, they will have to tell me why it is current. What is the justification? So first long-term koi bola tha. Let that student tell me what is the justification for long-term.
So current is not more than 1 year.
Yes. So why do we say this is a current investment?
Sir, I am saying long term.
You're saying long term. Okay. So what is the justification
Yes.
for long term? What is the justification for long term? Yes.
Sir, आप explain करो.
Or koi? Anybody else wants? See, if you say current investment, the intention is to hold it for not more than a year, not more than 12 months. And if it is a long-term investment, it is actually held for more than 12 months, or you have an intention to hold it for more than 12 months period. Now, if you really see this question, there have been frequent purchases and frequent sales. In fact, during the year, there is a sale 2 times, right? First was in July, the second was in Feb. And then there were a couple of purchases, couple of sales like that. So apparently there is no intention to hold it for a longer period, okay, which is more than a period of 12 months. Apparently the intention of the investor is to keep it as a current investment or short-term investment and roll it over within a period of 12 months or sale of some of the investments within a period of 12 months. So then these are current investments. And if it is a current investment, the valuation principle, all of you are aware, either lower of the valuation principle will be lower of cost or fair market value. And the 12 rupees per share, what you are given is a fair market value on 31st March. So now our job is to compare on 31st March, what is the fair market value, compare that with the cost, and then take a call at which value we have to carry forward these investments. These kind of exercise we have already done in case of debentures. If you recall, there were 2-3 sums where we had market value and we used to compare market value of debentures with the cost of debentures as on last day of the accounting year. And then we used to book loss or profit, loss only, not profit. We don't book the profit because it's cost or fair market value, whichever is less. So we used to book the loss if need be on those transactions. Okay, same way we'll have to do it here also. So let's work on the calculation and then we will see what happens. Now in the last working note, we are having a balance of 17,500 shares and whose cost is already established. The cost is 2,36,950. All of you have this working note that after the last sale, we are left with 17,500 shares and the corresponding cost is 236,950. After this sale took place, that was 1st January 2018. If you see the transactions, we have not purchased or sold any shares. Okay, if you see this transaction after this sale, which was 1st Feb 2018, there is no purchase or sale thereafter. Okay, this was the last transaction during the year. So after this sale was recorded, okay, after this particular transaction took place, this is the closing balance of shares with us, 17,500 shares, and the cost is 2,36,950. Now market value on 31st March is 12 rupees per share, and we are having 17,500 shares. So market value will be 17,500 multiplied by 12. 2,10,000. Okay, market value of the shares on 31st March is 2,10,000. All of you got this calculation? 17,500 into 12.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now just above here, Now just above here we have the cost, which is 2,36,950. Market value is 2,10,000. So which is lower, cost or market value?
Market value.
Market value.
Value is less. Yes. So we have suffered a loss of 26,950, as you can see here. If you compare cost and market value, you are having a resultant loss of 26,950 rupees. Correct? Now this loss will have to be booked because these are current investments and our valuation principle is cost or fair market value, whichever is less. That is a valuation principle. So we have to account for this loss, right? So on 31st March, we will account for this loss and then we will carry forward the investment at which value? We will carry it at market value, 17,500 shares at the rate of 12 rupees per share. Just a minute. So market value of shares will be carried forward, that is 2,10,000, and we will book the loss of 26,950. All of you understood the calculation?
Yes.
Okay. Any difficulty in the working
Yes.
or the
सर मुझे
any
वो
difficulty? हाँ बोलो.
करंट इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट तभी आपने एक्सप्लेन किया ना, वो ऊपर वाला वो एक्सप्लेन करो ना आगे.
Okay. See, if you go back to our earlier discussion, we have seen what is current investment and what is long-term investment. AS13 says that if you have an intention to hold the investment for more than a year, for a period of 12 months, more than 12 months, or if you're actually holding it for more than 12 months, it becomes a long-term investment. And if you are holding it for less than a year, or where your intention is to hold it for less than a year, it becomes a current investment. Now in this case, why we are calling it as a current investment? If you see his transaction, he is not simply buying the shares and sitting on it for a long term. He is buying the shares and in a short period of time, he had sold the shares also. So out of opening balance twice in the year, he had sold some shares. Then he again bought the shares. There was a second sale also in the same year. So that means he is not an investor who keeps on just investing and holding it for more than a year. There is a frequent change in portfolio in terms of buying and selling, right? Yeah. So that's why we are calling it as current investment. He doesn't have intention to hold it for a longer period of time. And if it is a current investment, then the principle will be cost or fair market value, whichever is less. So as a result, this calculation and now the loss of 26,950 that we will have to book. So on 31st March, we will book this loss. So P&L account debit to investment account 26,950. Profit and loss account debit to investment account on 31st March. The loss is accounted and transferred, which is 26,950 rupees. And then the remaining balance shares will be carried forward. So you need to balance face value column. When you balance face value column, you will get a balance of 1,75,000 because you are having 17,500 shares. So that will be the amount which you are holding at this point in time. And then on that day, the valuation is 2,10,000. As you can see, 17,500 shares into 12 rupees per share. That is a valuation on 31st of March. So 2,10,000 is a valuation of these shares on 31st of March. Now, when you take this balance of 2,10,000 directly here, the account will automatically tally. Okay, because you have booked the loss and then you have also plotted the value of 2,10,000, which was still 12 rupees per share, and the ledger will automatically balance. The ledger will automatically tally. Okay, even if you work out a balancing figure after working out this loss, okay, still you will get the balance of 2,10,000 only. So whichever way you do it, the ledger will tally. There should not be any problem once you have both the numbers in place to tally the ledger account. Are you clear about the closing part of ledger?
Yes, sir.
Okay, write down the
Yes.
closing balance. Yeah, write down the closing balances. हो गया complete?
Yes, sir, done.
Okay.
Yes,
Any
sir.
difficulty in this sum? Any difficulty in this sum?
No, sir.
No,
So
sir.
comfortable now with investment accounting for shares also? Because this was, I believe,
Yes, sir.
third sum on investment accounting for shares. Okay, it's not that complicated like X interest come interest. What is more important is that pre-acquisition dividend. If you know that calculation and if you know accounting for that, then the rest of it is fairly a simple game. Okay, so this was the third sum on your accounting for shares. Okay. So with this, actually, we will close the discussion now for the time being. We will spend rest of the time in some queries. If you have any questions on the past sums we did, or there were two sums which were given to you as self practice, do it yourself kind of a exercise. So if you have tried that and if you have any doubts on that, I'll try to discuss that and then we will wind up the session. Okay, so now it's an open forum for you to discuss your doubts and other things about this topic. Okay, let's start with that.